All right, calls. So basically, this entire interior area is lobby. There's technically two lanes for it. I don't really differentiate between them, but if you want, you can have a left lobby and then this have be like right lobby. This here is behind ramp, and then it goes over to ramp. This is toxic or barrels. This is shutter. This is like behind shutter. Actually, if a sniper's peeking like behind the shutter, you still say he's shutter. And then this is the crate. Or like shutter crate. Because there's also crates over here. I call this boxes, and then it goes over to under. This thing is secret. Over here is under bats. All the way up to here also. And then all of this like platform area is bats. This is stairs. And then there's left roof and right roof. Or you can say our roof and their roof. And finally, there's fans, which is this entire platform. And I think that's every Asheville call out.
I've heard the left side of lobby be called boiler.
Oh, you mean like behind ramp?
Yeah.
Like what I call that? Yeah. I think I've heard that too. Oh, okay, for how to actually play the map. So roll out. You generally want to stick off of a back wall instead of the ground because it'll give you more speed. It doesn't matter a whole lot, but it's also just easier. And then you basically always, if you're rolling out shutter as a demo, I think you guys already know about this, but like the medic roll on this map, basically after your demo's buffed and jumped out of spawn, then they can latch onto your scout and then get here quick enough that they can arrow your demo to full before you like peak shutter. And then as soon as you walk out here, basically you try to get damage on their demo and call it. You call like every stick you do basically. If you do 0, you say 0, or not every single stick, but like at the end, if you haven't done anything, then you let them know that there's a like 160 demo man who's about to get his beam, and he's not like as vulnerable as he would be, like. All right, I'm not good with words, but whether you do damage or not, you still have to call it. If you're way faster and then there's no demo to fight, then you just kind of want to trap them out of shutter. If they're rolling out bats for whatever reason, which you won't really see a whole lot, but it's occasional, then you're gonna sort of be doing the same thing, except you're gonna be like sticking up this upper level because they're gonna have to actually drop down to fight the point. You can't sit up there the entire time. Okay, so as for everyone else, so you're most of everyone's gonna have the same rollout except probably your sniper, soldier, and NG, for whom it can depend. So where your soldier's gonna roll out obviously is gonna depend on what he wants to do on the mid. So basically, it's good to always bomb on mids as soldier because you can either go behind or just straight up bomb on the recombo. Because there's not like on product you can play concrete and waddle and then spam and stuff, but there isn't really a good area to do that here. So your best option is to get in and like get in quick. So, or well, quick as in you don't take time like on your jump, but you can delay it if you want. So your options for your soldier, you can either bomb over their roof on their combo, or you can bomb over your own roof and then onto their bats, like if they're snipers bats, or something really good is you just use this to play behind them, and then you waddle over to their shutter, and then walk through shutter, and then you just play as you go. This is not just on the mid, but anytime you want to bomb over their roof as soldier, there cannot be players sitting on the roof, because if there's a scout and an NG just looking here at the sky, jumping over is going to be the only thing we're looking for, and you're going to jump over, take 150 and explode before you have to do anything. So it's not easy to clear the roof by yourself. You kind of just need to like ask for your demo or whatever to help with it. But yeah, if there's people up here and they're like looking in this direction, you know, it's not going to be safe to bomb. Okay, so wherever your soldier wants to roll out, uh, you have to basically walk towards shutter either way, because you're going to be whipping your heavy, and then from here you can either go up the stairs if you want to go bats, or just waddle over, and you can get to the either place from the same location. Just make sure heavy gets there on time. Pyro, medic are still just gonna take the same way as your demo and walk through the shutter, but then the thing your medic needs to worry about is if your sniper rolls that shutter, which is gonna be the case 90% of the time, you want to get here as quickly as possible to make this cross, because if your sniper domes your medic immediately, the mid immediately turns from an even fight into we try to salvage and then kill their med and bot end of them. So to minimize the chance of it happening, you want to just make the cross as quickly as possible. An alternative you might consider is to not go shutter in the first place and just roll at ramp, but it's not really a good idea because that takes way too long. It is so much slower to go all the way around. And honestly, you're just gonna get like trapped out by smart teams. The cross, maybe your med dies on it like what, 1 out of 6, 7 times, but overall the advantage is gonna be bigger than just going ramp. That's way too slow. So your NG and sniper are basically gonna be buddies on this map. Wherever your sniper wants to peek, your NG is gonna be there with them. So on the mids, well, actually, maybe not so much on the mids, because it's really good for your sniper to like charge a shot on the shutter, because they can just insta dome anyone as soon as this opens, kill the sniper or med, and then or the demo, and then like your mid's gonna be so much easier just off of that. It's basically like a guaranteed angle you're gonna have onto a bunch of people. If it's not for you, you can also go bats, and then this is, well, it's not really going to be, you're not really going to have to summon your NG here if you want to go bats on the mid, because your NG is probably going to be gravitating towards bats anyway, because something really good you want to be doing as NG on the mid fights, the point fights, you kind of just want to wrangle a mini off of fans or bats. That thing is so fucking annoying to deal with, and there's only like, there's like a limited number of classes that can actually shoot it and do good damage to it, right? It's like what, 300 damage? It's really broken. Please run the Wrangler on this map. But that's going to be your goal on a lot of the fights. Other than that, it's going to be like your NG goals are getting that mini up and sitting on your sniper. The times you are going to be like puppy guarding your sniper rather than wrangling a mini are a lot of the time during downtime. Or if your combo's like holding ramp, but their combo's going to drop off a bats to fight, and then your sniper wants to peek paths, then that would be a good time for you to go also. Or if you guys are on bats about a walk and then your sniper wants to go ramp, then same thing there. Then you want your NG with your sniper. Other than that, a lot of time when you guys like have a point, you can kind of just hang out and shutter, get your buildings up, and then you're gonna be the main like spy checker of shutter. Because otherwise, like it's really hard for your pyro to look at both the roof, sorry, at the roof to reflect at ramp and then also shutter. So this is kind of like a division of labor, but just takes a weight off of like everyone's shoulder, right? You'll be playing like just, you know, by shutter. Okay, so on the actual fights themselves, so like combo oriented, you want to walk. So if you thought product was like pretty difficult because it's really hard. It's a lot harder to see where their sniper is and then play around it because there's less space to work with. On Asheville, it's really easy. Basically, there's like 3 places their sniper can peek. It's going to be left, middle, or right. Middle is going to be like the shutter, left is bats, and then right is going to be barrel or ramp. And then basically on your point fights and mid fights, wherever their sniper is, you guys want to play the opposite side. But basically, no, it's like the same side. So wherever he can't see you. So if he's on bats, you'll be playing left wall. If he's ramp, right wall. You know. However, so playing left side may be more of a problem if their sniper's bats, because this is assuming their combo plays by this like shutter and ramp area, which is going to be the most common thing. It's really annoying to try and hide from the sniper. That's like hard scoping you guys from being able to walk and take space and actually meet and fight them, right? So the better thing to do in this case, if their sniper's bats, but their combo's over there, he's not going to have a lot of help. You can just send a soldier onto him, send a spy onto him. Literally, like, dying for the sniper, that makes so much space for you guys to just get over. But if he's right, then you're not going to have a problem really with him at all, because you're already going to be gravitating towards this area, and he's not going to have an angle, like, at all. Unless you guys actually, like, hide back on ramp. If he's watching here, watching this ramp, the easiest way to deal with him, basically, as he's called going ramp, you guys already want to be past that angle, so you're not going to have to worry about the cross or anything. You don't really want to hide on the mids. You guys need to walk out from ramp and then walk out onto the point. If you hide, you're going to get spammed over the roof by projectiles you're not going to see until they hit you. You're going to get hard scoped by the sniper. You're going to get bombed over the roof. It's more dangerous, and like the point's over here, you know, you have to actually play the objective, and then you want to take any free space you have. You want to be really aggressive on the mids. Okay, so the way an actual like coordinated aggression will look is a lot of the time it's going to be basically like a coordination between your demo and heavy when you're peeking. Because most of the time, if you guys are fighting them barrels or ramp, well, the first thing you want to do is your demo peeks and tries to pressure up the sniper. If he's toxic, he's going to be really easy to pressure. It's going to be like, you can maybe stand there for 2 seconds, take like 1 shot before he has to back up, or he's just going to instantly die your demo, right? So toxic isn't really a problem unless you guys are like ramp, which is why you want to be fighting this from the right area. And that's like the most common place snipers are going to start when it's like your push has just begun. So you want your heavy to eventually, you can start by walking off the fans if you're dropping off of bats. If it's like the mid, he'll already be here on the ground, closer to like the right or boxes. And then basically, when it's time to aggress, he's going to walk along this wall. And then as soon as he hits this corner, your demo they want to peek together, because you know you can't really shoot at 2 things at once. We're going to have something that's going to instantly laser anything in front of them. So we're going to want to run from that. And then you have your demo trapping off their exit, preventing them from running away from the 450 revved up fucking buff guy right in front of them, right? So that's like your main goal on your pressure. And then also you have your scout, and your scout is going to be like full beam on this point, full combo. He's going to struggle a little bit on aggressing here because, you know, you're going to take a lot of damage playing here, but he really shines when you guys are like holding and he can just sit on the roof. And shoot things in the air for your combo. Okay, that's like another part. But even though this is like, it's not as ideal if you're demo and heavy, your scout can still get a lot of work done. He's really good at chasing things as they're running away. And then if he actually has the space to not instantly explode because your demo and heavy are peeking along with him, then he can still do a lot here. But by himself, it's gonna be harder to fight. You can get on the roof as scout, assuming it's cleared as a peek, and then that's a little bit safer. But unless you're playing like close to this edge, then your beam's not going to be able to reach. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So about sums up the aggression. It's gonna be demo heavy, scout, medic, and then the like guardian angel, pyro, protector, kind of floating around with them. That's like the ideal world. So once you guys actually have the point, so the main hold. So a lot of, you might see, probably definitely seen it before, but you have a bunch of people standing back on the ramp, and then oh, yeah, we have space to forward hold. You can play like on the crates. You want the forward hold to be your default hold, basically. This is really, really bad. You can get hard scoped easily. You can't do like any damage to them dropping down. You basically let them walk all the way, like almost to the point, before you can even like think of beginning to fight them. Uh, you want to be forward for as long as possible. Sometimes it's not going to be possible. You're down too many, or you don't have good health, or whatever reason, right? Still waiting on people. But if you have everyone, your default hold should be like here, above this, like by this wall, looking at bats, preventing your sniper peeking shutter. You know, not like back here, because here you don't see anything. You give them so much free space. Plus, the more people you cluster in this ramp area, the more damage Berdema is gonna get from like a single stick or pipe over this roof. So your demo and heavy are gonna be forward. You basically literally always want people on the roof when you guys are holding the point. And the main classes to do that are gonna be your scouts, and then sometimes your NG can play there. But more often it'll probably be like your pyro. But you don't always need two people. Basically, your scout's perma gonna be on it, and he's gonna be looking up at the sky. He's gonna be calling when things are dropping down, chip shotting from above, and shooting at bombers. And you want to take a lot of heals, and then you'll a lot of other reason why being forward is good is because it makes space for your roof players to pressure them off of bats as well. And then your med can play here by the corner and basically rotate between healing people on the point and then on the roof. And most of the time, you're going to be healing like whoever's on the roof until their combo is actually going to be dropping down, because then the like focus of the fight is going to shift to over here, right? Your sniper can be barrels watching shutter or ramp, or if you guys have space, then you can even peek onto their bats from point. And then with the power of your engineer and pyro together, your sniper should like basically never be stabbed if he's playing either point or barrels. If he's barrels, there are two places the spy can decloak. One is in this corner, which everyone can see, and the other is back in shutter and then walking out and stabbing him. He might die to that sometimes, which is just unlucky because it's mistiming. It takes like 2 seconds to walk out there. But if you have your NG playing like deep in shutter, then it's way easier to prevent that. I think that's about it for the forward hold. Oh, no, it's not. Your soldier's job is to make sure their sniper cannot peek ramp. Or if you're unable to stop him from peeking ramp, at least make sure people know about it. So you can either sit here and stare at this choke, or you can peek and spam if you have enough space. You want to be buffed a lot and then go back for buffs, and you can get arrowed in like the corner or whatever. You don't always have to like waddle to ramp, or if you want to bomb the sniper here, you don't always need to bomb over the roof and fully commit into him, because a lot of time he's gonna have people supporting him trying to peek here. But you don't need to kill him. You just need to pressure him enough that he's not going to be able to peek without like having to stand and spam, where he'll just die eventually anyway. So you can bomb up onto this roof and then spam instead if he's not like isolated enough that you can get directly on him. If their sniper's peeking ramp and no one can like stop him or anything, like your sniper loses FPS, your soldier's not there, whatever, you guys want to shift your hold over from the left side to the right side. So it's like the same thing you would do on like a fight. There aren't really like defined spots to play, or like they're not as defined as they are for this normal ramp hold, but it's just a general like gravitation because this wave sniper is gonna have an angle on exactly 0 people. So you know that's really good. If you guys want to forward hold and aggress, I think my personal favorite is peeking their shutter and then playing their lobby or like up here and then on their bats is my favorite. If you guys, there is like a forward hold on their ramp, but I don't really like it because it's really easy for them to get their sniper here and then just stare at all of you, and you have to walk so far to actually get out of that. Which is why I prefer to peek shutter and play on bats instead. But if you guys have a lot of kills, you can definitely clean up some stragglers that are gonna be farther in than they should be, right? So you can peek for shutter first together, shoot at the things on the stairs, and then work your way up, right? And this is just like when you know it's an advantageous fight. It's like you're basically just punishing anyone that should be back in spawn already. If you guys have ad, you can use it for your shutter also. You just want to make sure your sniper's not washing on bats, because if you guys have to use 4 of a cross, then it's honestly not worth it, because they're gonna know super early, and by the time you actually get here, your Uber's like almost done already. So if you guys want to take an ad Uber into them while on defense, ideally you want to use either free or shutter or like as your guys are walking up the stairs into them, and try and catch the med. Let's see what else. If you guys are out, usually you guys are gonna be grouping up on bats. However, you need a lot of people to exist safely on here because like the same thing I just said before, but in reverse. People can on the enemy team can peek shutter, and then if you guys don't have like a well-defined group here, then it's really easy to get caught and die. So until you guys actually have people, you want to be farther back, like lobby or like at the base of your stairs on bats before you actually walk up. And then yeah, so your main walk is going to be either lobby in the stairs to bats or all the way just far right from spawn up here. And then basically any class, as you're walking up here, you really want to hug the left because there's a forward angle a sniper can take where they just stand on the crates and they can see really, really far. It's way past the health pack, but they're not going to be able to fucking pencil jump. They're not going to be able to kill anyone if you just play the left. There's fucking like jump you can do too if you want. Yeah, just make it a habit. Unless you're grabbing the pack, always hug the left as you walk to bats because you just avoid that sight line entirely. Once you guys are actually closer, it's easy to pressure him out, and it's not an issue. So when you guys are actually, huh?
Sniper can also peek through shutter if you're deciding to start.
Oh yes,
grouping in main.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
This is an angle.
Really
Don't die to it. You want to expect one of the 2 aggressive angles. You guys just like lost a push or lost like wiped or something, and you're just getting back up again. So I would not recommend going through lobby at all if you're in a situation like that. And then you just come bats and beware of the other angle. Okay, so when you guys are actually on bats, it'll be your demo, pyro, and med on bats. Your med's basically just going to stay under the roof the entire time. Unless they want to play over to the right side because your demo's over here. But then like the thing there is if their sniper's peeking off a point, then that makes this a sight line. So it kind of like depends. But generally your med should be able to reach everyone from under this roof. You never want to play on the stairs because it's super easy to get caught and you gain absolutely nothing from being on the stairs than just being up here. You're standing in, you can rotate over to the stairs to heal people's shutter, but you don't want to linger for too long, and you should never like use this as your main spot because it's really easy to die. When you guys are on bats, there's honestly not a whole lot. There's like 2 things you really need to watch out for, and then one is the high bomb that their soldier can do off of, I don't even know which wall. I guess they can do it from ramp. it's like 2 rockets. You high bomb here, and then you sink 2 rockets, and they explode like right here. So, as long as you guys have eyes on their soldier and know to expect it, like when it's a possibility, then it shouldn't be an issue. But if he just suddenly shows up in your face, then you know. Your heavy, when it's like downtime, you're grouping up or whatever, is gonna be like watching Shutter, because A, they're gonna laser anything that tries to peek too aggressive and isn't ready for it, and B, if your sniper wants to peek Shutter, he can open it, and he can also just basically spy check for him and protect him from anything that's trying to aggress into him. Because your snipers, basically, he has 3 different. He can peek wherever he wants when you guys are on bats. He can peek off of bats where he has his entire combo, Shutter where he has heavy and a constant buff, or he can take an NG and maybe a soldier with him, and peek ramp. I think ramp personally is one of the best things to peek like as you guys drop down, because they're suddenly gonna have to. They're gonna be distracted either. Like the ideal world, your sniper either domes someone, and then you guys just have a pick as you go, or they're gonna be distracted enough with your combo dropping down that you'll have space for multiple shots from over here, and it's just a really wide angle on the everyone. As long as you have someone with you, you'll never be stabbed. Basically, like the only worry really is, besides their sniper, is their soldier bombing on the U or on the roof. Cars floating around. Okay, so when you basically, the best thing I can say about bats is don't AFK here. You don't need a pick to start a push. Okay, I see a lot of people like, no, let's get something first, but it's Highlander. The time's ticking down. You can't. You just have to go, and then if it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, then you just back up, regroup, try again. But you can't waste time like trying to get one perfect push when you could have done 3 like slightly imperfect ones, you know? This is like the clock's always ticking in Highlander. So the way you go about starting a push, obviously your goal is to get the same kind of demo and heavy around their corner aggression that I talked about on the mids. But to actually get to that point, there's a few things that need to happen. And number 1 is you have to clear the roof. This is so important. If you guys do nothing about the roof, as you walk here, they're going to be shooting you on fans. As you drop down, they're going to be shooting you on the ground. You can get forced easily. You can lose people. You cannot forget about the roof ever. The first thing you do as you guys peek around the corner of the bats is worry about clearing roof. This is going to be mostly your demos work, but your scout can help a little bit. But don't commit too far over the roof, because if you're on like their half of the roof, it's you're kind of just instantly gonna explode. But you can play like up here and play a little bit on your side of their roof, if you'd like. But basically, you could probably put like an entire clip into it, and then as soon as they drop off the roof, you want to go, because if you don't go that moment, then what's gonna happen is they're gonna get healed up from like red HP all the way back to a full buff, and they're just gonna get back onto the roof. Ideally, there is gonna be sometimes during the fight you are gonna have to focus back onto the roof again, but you know, use your best discretion to choose what to shoot at. But don't forget this exists. You can always start by clearing it, and then if things get back on it like later, then you can just look at them, and it's easier from this angle. But as you guys are dropping down, it's going to be more of a threat. If you guys drop down here and play from the low ground on crates, don't linger here for too long. If your demo instantly gets railed, then you guys cannot stand here anymore, because you're not doing anything here. At that point, you should just leave and then either wait for your demo, or you can just immediately take like a scout solo, force for Uber, and then get out, and your demo will be up again for the post. But you have to be decisive, because the longer you guys just linger here, you have nothing to gain and a lot of things to lose. Their combo is going to peek for crates. Their sniper is most likely going to rotate to bats or under bats. He hears you guys are just standing here, and then the roof is going to become a problem again. So you either go into them anyway, or you just leave under bats and then group up again, try again. But if you find yourselves lingering, you guys have to make a decision. Snipers bats, and you guys can't, like, the ideal world, you guys get a spy on him, or your sniper shoots him, or your soldier bombs from your ramp and instantly kills him. If neither of those three things can happen, then you should not drop off of bats. Your probably best alternative at that point is to go shutter. You do need to spend some time clearing the stickies or whatever if you're above or more often on the ground, but you don't want to walk into a sniper and either die or be forced to use really far back, and their combo is just going to kite the entire thing. It's going to be useless. So I actually prefer shutter Ubers rather than bats for this reason. They're okay sometimes because if you're playing forward, then it's really good to play the high ground here for a few seconds and just force them to back up. Right, and then going bats is kind of like a play as you go. It's a little slower, but you can just take it one step at a time. The issue here is their sniper being bats, and then the roof is much more of a worry. So that's why I generally tend to prefer going shutter with Ubers instead, because you can use through the shutter, with your scout and demo, and your demo bombs over, and then your med catches them, and then you don't have to worry about the roof, because you guys, after you force for Uber, you're going to be ending farther back, and the roof players are like, it's going to be like hit scan. If you guys are playing like here, it's going to be way easier for like you as a demo to fight them than here up on fans. However, so as I said before, sometimes you will be forced to drive through shutter if you guys do want to take a dry fight because their sniper's bats and can't be dealt with. Other than that, it is better to dry off of bats than go shutter because the sticks are really annoying to deal with, and then playing it slow is probably like your best bet when you don't have Uber. When you do have Uber, you just want to go, basically. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so if it's an ad Uber, oh actually no. So you guys need to know where the combo is holding before you actually use. If they're forward on the point, you're gonna end up either using basically around the corner, or well, it's gonna be through the shutter either way, whether they're on the points or not. But the difference is gonna be whether you have to bomb or not. Because if they have like a demo and heavy here in this barrel and you guys walk through shutter, your demo doesn't need a bomb. You can just walk through and then you can instantly start shooting at them. What else? This is so in ad Ubers, if you're taking it into them and they do not have, you always want your spy to first of all be in position for that. Give them two things to look at, but B, you can kind of have your spy calling your ad Ubers because he's going to be the one who has the best eyes to see when their med's actually catchable, and then you guys have enough space to actually like make it work. And then if they're for Ashville, if they're like ramp, or well, their med's gonna be like what, the corner or ramp, then you also want your soldier in the ad Ubers. Just he can even take a flash as he bombs, and then you want him bombing over their roof, and then he can like get some of Uber and get caught as he lands. But you know, the goal of that is to kill their med. And I will say, however, like, you want to have a people in position, but don't force yourself to commit resources to killing a med that's not like gonna get killed. Don't feed 7 to kill a med just because they were able to kite well, okay? Sometimes you have to accept that, okay, well, we didn't kill the med of the ad uber, but it's okay. You guys, you'll still get the point from it anyway. Just don't lose so many trying to salvage and kill the med that you throw away like your own capture. What else?
Can you go over a little bit more closely what flank is doing on the after you lose mid? Because you didn't super
On the what?
after you lose mid, like when you're trying to go back in. 'Cause
After you
didn't
lose
really cover.
mid?
Yeah.
So as a scout, you can, if it's downtime, you guys aren't doing anything, then you're not gonna really be able to do anything with combos. So you can rotate, and then you can try to help your sniper ramp or just fight a soldier there or whatever. But if you guys are about to go, you need to be here because first of all, you can help clear the roof, and then you're gonna want to be in every single Uber. So as soon as you guys know, as soon as you know you guys are about to go, you want to be close to your combo. But other than that, if you guys are out, then you have more space to like roam around and stuff, and then you're gonna end up probably being more by ramp. Your soldier is gonna be sort of the same. Depending on whether your team wants him to bomb as you guys fight or Uber or whatever, because that has to be coordinated. Because a bomb by himself isn't going to do anything. Because first of all, no one's cleared the roof, and second of all, there's going to be what 7, 8 players with a single soldier to look at and nothing else to do. Right? You need the coordinated pressure for the bomb. So if he isn't about to do that, then he can sort of do the same thing and help his sniper peek ramp and then fight their soldier also like on this. It's really easy to splash this roof and force them to back off. But whatever the case, you guys still want to like take buffs before you do it, and then you kind of rotate back and get them because it's not that far of a walk. You can get healed like from right here because this a single pack is really scarce. Don't be afraid to take heals, even if you're like on the other side of the map of your combo. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely.
Are there any other questions? I think. Oh, actually, one thing I didn't talk about was sacks. So there's kind of like 2 sacks you can sort of do. One is like the direct sack where you have your soldier and demo bomb over roof. You basically send everyone in to die. You can send your scout to jump on the roof. Your pyro can detonator jump over the roof. Your NG can walk. Your heavy can just bot forward. Or sorry, not your NG. With your sacks, basically as soon as you guys go forward, your med's just gonna run with your NG and then like Wrangler build a spawn or whatever. It's just sending people to die. The other kind of sack is like a dry fight. And it's basically the difference between like sack dry fight and a regular dry fight is in a normal dry, your heals are gonna be a lot more committed, and then you're gonna be like, basically your med's not gonna be always. If it's a sack dry fight, it's gonna be like your med heals people up to a certain line, and then does not like actually walk out of shutter or anything, because they want to make sure that as soon as their team uses you know, they just run and kite. In a normal dry fight, then like your med's gonna be more committed and then really with people. However, personally, I'm more of a fan of a regular kind of sack versus or just a regular dry fight. I don't really like basically the only difference between a dry fight and a dry fight sack is like how committed your peels are. Honestly, I'm like my playstyle. I'm of the opinion that as long as you have a scout with you as mid, it's really easy to kite out if they use into you guys, and you have like a pyro too. So as long as you don't walk too far forward and you play like close to Shredder or somewhere to leave, then I think you can still definitely walk out of Shredder and play with your team. But I don't know. That's just my way of playing. So like my favorite version of a sack is you send 7 people to die while your engine builds in spawn. Or it's just a dry fight with the idea, like a regular dry fight. It's as if you guys barely even know you're this side, except you should, because you'll have the idea there that everyone is ready to get out as soon as they use. You can't forget about the decide, even if it's not like in playstyle that different from a regular dry. Okay, are any questions or any other question?
No, I guess not.
Okay, so real quick for official, Cat Cafe lost their main sniper Trick. So personally that makes me feel really confident against Cat Cafe.